Yo, what's up, fight fans? So today we're gonna be looking back at fight week. So Pappy back in the ring again. He peppered this guy's ribs, made him quit. Those body shots was vicious, like boom, boom, ooh, yikes. But I see my boy evolving. And I love to see it. He's so much more composed now in the ring. He's calm, he's patient. He's always had that finesse with him, the counter punching and just the aura of confidence when he gets in the ring. That's why he performs so well. But this time he's more refined. He takes his time now. He's patient with it in the ring. And that comes with experience. And so beautiful to see. So Pappy really come to become, a really refined boxer. And that's what we saw in the ring. And also Fox the G, my G, he fought in the same card. He fought against Adnan. He's a UAE national champion in the amateurs in that part of the world. And there's just levels to this. And Fox the G showed that. Even though the guy had a good amateur pedigree, it's just different when it comes to the professional game, so to speak, because without head guards and smaller gloves, everything really changes. And there's a massive difference. And you can see that. And also, what they both fought on the TK Fight Night, so which is an influencer boxer based in Dubai, the premier influencer boxing promotion in that part of the world. But there's just levels to this because Misfits is the top, I believe, and you can see that the pedigree of their fighters, Boxer G and Soul Pappy coming in and just taking over the whole game. I know they're superstars and I know they're the bigger names in the influencer boxing scene, but it still goes to show the levels of their boxing skills, which goes to show that Misfits really is on top. And I'm gonna be on it soon. I'm gonna be on it. And I can't wait to finally just fire on it, man. Hopefully everything goes well. No more roadblocks. I just want to be in the ring so badly. Can't wait to show out for you people. My people. Keep believing. We're gonna get there. And also, this fight card in TK Fight Night in Dubai was headlined by Mo Vlogs. Now I don't really know much about him, but he still won fight against I'm not sure who the other one is. But the highlight of the night for me is Abdul Razik. He's the guy who's supposed to fight Hezbollah, but he was called off or cancelled or something went along. Something just didn't really click and they didn't get to fight. But that's the fight I really want to see as well. But from what I saw, Hasbi. I mean, he's the best. I love him. So I'm Team Hezbollah. When they fight, I know he gonna knock him out. Mama said knock you out. Let's go. But for real though, I'm probably proud of Soul Pappy, how he came up, where he started from. And he's an inspiration to myself. And I'm sure to many others as well, especially Filipino fight fans, that he really came from, similar backgrounds and really nothing. And as most Filipinos, we most of us come from, obesity because we love food so much. And Soul Pappy overcame that. And we're in a similar journey actually of boxing just to get fit, just not to be fat. And then falling in love with boxing and becoming a boxer. So similar journeys and we talk and support each other all the time, but I wish I'm looking forward to actually seeing him in person one day. I mean, I was supposed to fight in his undercard, but, that fell through. But the future, who knows what the future holds? So I'm looking forward to seeing him. And just the way how he improves every single fight, from the Ferrari fight recently and to this one, is much more refined, more relaxed. Because the Ferrari fight, the guy was game as well, so he made it into a brawl, into a fight, but he's coming along nicely. And I can't wait to see what his next fight is. I'd love for him to get that slim rematch. I know we can beat him. I mean, he was already beating him in the last one, but it's like I said, it's just that patience and picking your shots carefully and not rushing in like he did last fight. And I know he's worked on that a lot, and he's so much more precise with his shots now. He chooses wisely, and he's really becoming more mature in the ring. So I can't wait for him to get that fight again. And obviously, if he fights KSI, that'll be the big fight. I'd love to see that happen as well. Comment down below what you think will happen, or who do you want to see Salt Pappy fight next. And another fight fan favorite that fought in this card is Darren the Gorilla Till, the UFC superstar. However, this time it's in the boxing ring. So he made his boxing debut at TK Fight Night in Dubai. Although things didn't really go to plan, he didn't really get to, fight or get the victory that he wanted like that. I'm sure he wanted a knockout. He didn't really get that. And also, the way the fight ended, it was a back of the head shot, and then the guy just kind of like quit. And afterwards, he was getting all pissed about it. And then he went and tried to take down Darren Till. I mean, what's going on in here? So it was a bit of a mess when it came to it. And then it was a massive brawl that went on after the fight, not during the fight. I mean, the fight itself was quite lackluster, but after the fight, that's when the brawl started happening. People getting stomped on the ground, and Darren Till actually got taken down. I mean, he went to boxing and moved out of the UFC and MMA because he doesn't want to get taken down. He wants to strike. And then poor fella comes along and then still gets taken down in the boxing ring. I mean, jeez, cut him some slack. What's going on in here? Afterwards, he called out the likes of Jake Paul, KSI, Mike Perry, Tommy Fury, and the biggest influencer stars. Now, after that performance, we can't really take much out of it, but Darren Till is still a dangerous striker. Don't forget. I know you fight fans that you forget quickly. I know you do. Roy Jones said, "Yo, must have forgot." Don't underestimate Darren Till because he's still the gorilla and he's still got that power. That power never leaves. That's the last thing to leave a fighter. That power. Speed, finesse, technique, reaction time, they fade as quickly, right? But power stays. And he's got that genuine God-given power. Now, out of all the guys that I've mentioned, the influencers seen KSI, Jake Paul, now those guys got power too, and as a fighter, but Darren Till is a genuine striker and a fighter that's born and bred for this, so to speak, right? So how will he fare against those guys, especially as those guys have the advantage of being pure boxing? They didn't go to MMA, they didn't practice any other martial arts. They focused and specifically trained in boxing, so they're more refined in it. But I do believe that Tommy Fury and Jake Paul is going to beat the likes of a Darren Till. KSI, he may get away with it just because they have quite a similar style. You know, that bouncy up and down, side to side, karate kind of style, or like that counter, counter boxing type of style of like a wide stance. So both of them could potentially, I mean, it can go either way, but I don't think he's got a good chance against being Jake Paul, because Jake Paul has really grown into his boxing and into his weight. He's a big lad, a heavyweight. Y'all must have forgot. He's a big guy. So I don't think he will fare too well against. So if I was Darren Till, I would work my way up to that level, but I just don't think at this moment. I'm not saying he doesn't have the talent, he definitely does, but it's his first fight. I don't want him to jump into, I don't want to rush his pro, kind of like what the UFC did, and it kind of ruined his career. I want to just take it slowly, and I know the big fights are going to be there for him, but it'll be better if he just calm down for a minute and just pick the right fights that makes money, fights that make sense, and he will get on top. I mean, he's exciting. He's always been exciting, so I want to see that. And the biggest news of the weekend in the fight world is Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal 2 in the ring. Now, I know it was a brawl. This one was an absolute war from start to end, toe-to-toe war, and I love it. I love it. Now, this time, Stockton came out on top, but Nate Diaz has always been the pure boxer. He's always been a better boxer, martial artist. When I fought in MMA in the UFC fight, Jorge Masvidal came out on top. He became the baddest motherfucker. He took the BMF belt for the first time. Remember, that belt was made for them. It was given by The Rock as well. Nate Diaz is a pure boxer. In terms of his striking, you can see his fluidity in his punches. He's always had that good pedigree in boxing. The heavier shots were landed by Jorge Masvidal because he has more power. But with power also comes in the lack of endurance. So he faded as the rounds went on. And the beautiful thing about that most people don't really understand about boxing is that it ain't just about power or who hits harder or who hits faster. Because those guys who hit fast and who hit hard, they tend to not have a good engine, because it's kind of like using such a big energy of your fuel source into that power. Every single punch that you land, that's why, the likes of Mike Tyson, Conor McGregor, yeah, they land hard and they land fast, but that takes out so much energy away from them. That's why their gas tank doesn't, depletes much quicker than guys that don't have that much power, because, it's tippy tap, but those punches are very fluid because it's just landing. Sometimes, it's the boxing experience really is all about controlling your punches, and a lot of people don't really understand that, and it's just you don't give 100% to every single one of your punch, and that's the experienced boxer speaking. And you'll understand that if you've done this, you've been in this game for a longer time. It's all about landing the punches, performing the techniques, and being fluid with your movement. And that's how you conserve energy, because you can throw an arm punch like very quickly and very hard, but that will take and sap out so much energy away from you. Or you can use your whole body's rotation and just move with every single punch, flow with it, and you can conserve so much energy and land more frequently as well. And that's what Nate Diaz implemented, because he has a beautiful style of his 1-2, and it's not a 1-2 where it's 1-2, it's a ba-bam. It's the two combining as one punch. So instead of going 1-2, it's just this. So it's just ba-bam. And you can see that he landed that all the time, and that's what he caught with Conor McGregor with as well. One of the finest strikers the UFC has ever seen. He caught him with that, and it's just look, this is how it is. Ba-boom, ba-boom, right there, ba-boom. So it's just acting as a one singular punch. He's combining the two into a singular motion. And that's the beautiful thing about his technique. It's so simple, but it's so pure. And the masters are really those who perfect the simple technique. That's what makes a master, and he's a master at that. Nate Diaz peppered him, and they threw overall 1,394 punches combined together. I mean, that's a lot of punches. They really threw down. I mean, golly, that's a lot of punches, man. Both of these guys are warriors. They stood toe to toe from the first bell to the end. But Nate Diaz was victorious. Stockton on top, 209, baby. And I know Nate Diaz wants that rematch with Jake Paul. And Jorge Masvidal was also gunning to fight Jake Paul. I mean, from that performance, and we can kind of compare the Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz and obviously Masvidal versus Nate Diaz boxing fights now. From that comparison, I just feel like Jake Paul is too big. And there's weight classes in this game for a reason. And I know that it's said oftentimes it can be platitudinous. You have to understand that you have to follow certain rules, and rules are there for your protection. And the weight classes and the weight divisions are implemented so that dangerous things don't happen in this already dangerous sport. It's so dangerous, so accidents don't happen in this already dangerous sport. I just feel like Jake Paul is too big for him, for Jorge Masvidal. You can go up the weight in terms of, just making the weight, but you're not going to be as efficient in that weight category. And you can catch Jake Paul at a catch weight, but he's the A side. He ain't catching nobody for nothing. And it's just Canelo. But you just have to look at those fights, and really, I think Jorge Masvidal's power doesn't really translate into boxing. You have to understand he's got great hands. I'm not saying he ain't got power in his hands. He does. But boxing power is different to MMA striking power, so to speak. And you saw that with Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather is known in boxing as pillow fisted, which he isn't, but fight fans are cruel. And Conor McGregor is supposed to be this big, heavy handed, touch of death type of guy in MMA. But you saw both of their power kind of be equal in boxing. You see that all the time when MMA guys go into boxing, and when they put on the gloves, it's a different technique that's applied to it, because most of MMA, you have to worry about the legs, you have to worry about the elbows, the knees, and everything else that you can get taken down. So you never really fully engage or fully transfer that power into your hands. And in boxing, that's all you have to worry about. That's why the techniques used in boxing is completely different to that which is of a MMA striker, because you can use your whole body to leverage that punch in order to deliver the most devastating punch you possibly can. And this just comes with experience. It's not that the other guy is better than the other. It's just that one person has mastered one specific skills, whereas the other has mastered many different multiple skills. And if you just pick the boxing out of there, I mean, their skills is just this, because they have in MMA you have to be much more refined, and your game has to be a complete whole. So you have to have wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, and that takes a lot of your time and also your skills that you could be practicing one skills. Whereas in boxing, you just have boxing, 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 boxing all throughout your life. And most of these guys that have been boxing have been boxing for years, for decades, really. So you can't beat that. You can't beat time and that experience unless you have a specific God-given talent that you're the greatest boxer that ever lived, and you can train for a year, and your striking game is completely out of this world. But that hasn't really been seen in anywhere else. So boxers will always triumph in the boxing game. I mean, this is what they've been practicing all their life. It's just the way it is. And if a boxer goes to the MMA world, goes into the cage, then he'll get also pieced up as well. But that's just the nature of the game. So you just have to understand that. But anyways, that's the fight recap. Hope you enjoyed it. Watch all my other videos regarding boxing as well, and stay tuned. I'm gonna try to stay consistent now. I'm gonna be posting fight updates every Sunday, and Taz Talks. Stay tuned. It's gonna be coming out on Wednesdays, and I'll see if I can do Saturdays, but at least once a week. So stay tuned to that, and we'll be covering a lot more boxing, MMA, everything fight news. Comment down below what you want me to cover, and also I'll do reaction videos. So if you have a video that you find funny, or anything that you want me to react to, I'll create content on that. There's another episode of Taz Talks. Peace.